Everything in your life is a direct reflection of where you place your attention. Think about it. Your energy follows your focus. If your mind is constantly scattered, worrying about things outside of your control, consumed by distractions, or fixated on what others are doing, what kind of life are you creating for yourself? A fragmented focus leads to a fragmented reality. Your results, your sense of fulfillment, and your ability to achieve your goals are all dictated by what you give your mental energy to. Most people live in a state of unconscious distraction. They don't even realize how much of their energy is being drained by things that don't serve them. Social media, negative conversations, mindless entertainment. These are all designed to hijack your focus, and the more you feed these distractions, the weaker your personal power becomes. Every time you focus on things that don't contribute to your growth, you're diverting energy away from what truly matters. This is why focusing on yourself isn't just about personal development, it's about reclaiming your power. You cannot afford to scatter your attention if you want to evolve. You must direct it with intention, because where your focus goes, your reality follows. If you want to create change, you must start by being brutally honest about where your mental energy is going. Are you spending hours thinking about things you can't change? Are you lost in comparison, watching other people's lives instead of building your own? Are you allowing external noise to dictate your thoughts? These are the patterns that keep people stuck, living below their potential. Now let's take this deeper. The mind is incredibly powerful, but it cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. If you're constantly focusing on external chaos, your nervous system will respond as if you're actually experiencing that chaos. If your mind is locked in fear, self-doubt, or frustration, those emotions will manifest in your body, influencing your decisions, your energy levels, and even your physical health. The inverse is also true. When you consciously direct your focus towards self-mastery, when you train your mind to align with clarity, growth, and purpose, you will see that reflected in your external world. Science backs this up. Neuroplasticity tells us that the brain is always adapting based on where we place our attention. If you repeatedly focus on negativity, your brain strengthens those neural pathways, making it easier for you to fall into negative thinking patterns. But if you train your mind to focus on discipline, resilience, and personal growth, those patterns become your default state. This is why mindfulness, meditation, and intentional focus are so powerful. They allow you to take control of what your brain is reinforcing. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it's essential. Society has conditioned us to believe that constantly worrying about others, seeking approval, or staying busy with external distractions is normal. But that mindset keeps people trapped in mediocrity. The most successful, fulfilled, and high-achieving individuals understand one thing: they protect their focus. They do not waste their mental energy on things that do not elevate them. They are intentional with their thoughts, their time, and their attention. So the question is, how do you take back control? It starts with awareness. You must become conscious of where your focus is being pulled and ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is this aligned with my vision? Is this something I want to give my energy to? If the answer is no, redirect it. Develop the discipline to disengage from distractions. Limit your exposure to negativity. Create space in your life for deep work, self-reflection, and progress. This isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about learning how to operate in it with precision and purpose. Another key aspect is learning to sit in silence. In a world obsessed with noise, silence is power. When you are constantly distracted, you lose touch with your intuition, your creative mind, and your inner wisdom. But when you practice being still, when you focus inward, you begin to cultivate an unshakable sense of clarity. You no longer feel the need to chase things outside of you because you realize that everything you need is already within you. Most people won't do this. Most people will continue wasting their time mindlessly scrolling, chasing validation, and living reactively. But you don't have to be like most people. You can choose to rise above the distractions. You can choose to reclaim your focus. And when you do, you will start to see changes. Your thoughts will become sharper, your energy will increase, and your results will improve. It won't be easy at first, because the world is designed to pull your attention in 1,000 different directions, but the more you practice, the stronger you will become. At the end of the day, you are either in control of your focus. If you truly want to change your life, you must start by eliminating the distractions that are keeping you stagnant. The problem isn't that you lack potential. It's not that you don't have the ability to grow, evolve, or create something extraordinary. The real issue is that your energy is being drained by things that do not serve you. Every time you give your attention to something meaningless, whether it's mindless entertainment, toxic relationships, or the endless noise of social media, you are wasting the very resource that determines your success, your focus. Think about how much time people spend on things that have absolutely no impact on their future. Hours are lost scrolling through content that does nothing but feed the mind with comparison and self-doubt. Conversations are filled with gossip, negativity, and distractions that pull people further away from their purpose. Most people are operating on autopilot, unaware of how much of their energy is being hijacked by the external world. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they aren't making progress, why they don't feel fulfilled. The truth is, you cannot expect to grow if you are constantly allowing yourself to be pulled in 1,000 different directions. Growth requires deep work. It demands intentional focus. It requires you to protect your time and energy as if your life depends on it, because it does. Every wasted moment is a moment that could have been used to build, to evolve, to move closer to the future you say you want. But here's the thing, most people don't want to take responsibility for this. It's easier to blame circumstances, to say life is unfair, to convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes for those who keep making excuses. Now, let's look at this from a scientific perspective. Your brain is wired for efficiency. It will always seek the path of least resistance. If you have trained yourself to indulge in distractions, to avoid discomfort, to waste time, your brain will continue reinforcing those habits. The neural pathways of procrastination, self-sabotage, and lack of discipline will become stronger. But the moment you make a conscious decision to change, to reclaim your focus, to eliminate the distractions, to commit to your own evolution, you start rewiring your brain. Neuroscience shows us that whatever we repeatedly do, think, or focus on becomes hardwired into our neural circuitry. If you constantly focus on what is unimportant, your mind adapts to that, making it harder to concentrate on what truly matters. But if you train your brain to focus, to eliminate unnecessary distractions, and to prioritize what aligns with your highest potential, you begin to operate from a place of power. This is why solitude is essential. Not isolation, but solitude. There is a difference. Isolation is withdrawing from the world out of fear, but solitude is an intentional act of self-mastery. It is the ability to sit with yourself, to think deeply, to reflect, to create, and to strengthen your mind without the need for external validation. The most powerful people in history, visionaries, leaders, innovators, understood this. They did not waste their time engaging in meaningless distractions. They spent time in deep thought, in deliberate practice, in mastering their craft. And here's where most people go wrong. They think being busy is the same as being productive. It's not. You can fill your day with tasks and still accomplish nothing meaningful. Productivity is not about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters. And that requires ruthless elimination of what doesn't serve you. Start paying attention to how you spend your time. Audit your daily habits. Are they aligned with the person you want to become? Are they bringing you closer to your goals, or are they just filling space? Be honest with yourself. If you want to break free from mediocrity, you must cut out everything that is keeping you there. It's not easy. Distractions are addictive. Social media, entertainment, meaningless conversations. These things provide instant gratification. They give you a temporary escape from your reality. But that's all it is, an escape. A way to avoid doing the deep work required to transform your life. The question is, how long are you willing to keep running? Because here's the truth, nothing changes until you do. You can have all the knowledge in the world, you can listen to all the motivational speeches, But if you don't take action, if you don't start cutting out the distractions, nothing will shift. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't intelligence or luck, it's focus. The ability to direct your energy toward what truly matters and to eliminate everything that doesn't. So I challenge you right now in this moment to make a decision. Decide to take back control. Decide to stop wasting your time. Decide to stop engaging in things that do not serve your highest self. Because if you don't make this decision now, then when? The future you want is not waiting for you, it is created by you. And it begins the moment you stop giving your time and energy to what is meaningless and start directing it toward what truly matters. Most people underestimate the power of their own mind. They drift through life, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them, allowing external forces to dictate how they feel, what they do, and who they become. But if you truly want to transform your life, you must break free from this reactive state. You must shift from passivity to intentionality, from distraction to deep focus, from being controlled by the world to becoming the master of your own mind. The truth is, your mind is your most valuable asset. It is the foundation of everything you will ever accomplish. Every decision you make, every action you take, every result you create, it all begins in your mind. And yet, most people spend more time maintaining their social media profiles than they do developing their mental strength. They invest in things that do not matter while neglecting the very thing that determines the quality of their existence. Here's something you need to understand. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it, consciously or unconsciously, will grow. If you allow negativity, doubt, and distraction to take root, they will multiply, suffocating any potential for growth. But if you cultivate discipline, focus, and self-mastery, your mind will become fertile ground for success. The problem is, most people let weeds grow unchecked. They feed their minds with mindless entertainment, shallow distractions, and self-defeating beliefs. Then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they lack confidence, why their lives never seem to change. If you want to break free from this cycle, you must take full responsibility for what you allow into your mental space. You must become ruthless in eliminating anything that weakens your focus, anything that drains your energy, anything that distracts you from your purpose. This means stepping away from toxic conversations, from endless scrolling, from engaging in activities that serve no higher purpose. It means replacing passive consumption with active creation. Instead of absorbing negativity, feed your mind with knowledge. Instead of wasting time, invest in self-development. Instead of seeking validation from others, cultivate inner confidence. And this is where silence becomes your greatest ally. Silence is not the absence of activity. It is the presence of awareness. It is the space where real growth happens. When you remove distractions, when you sit with your thoughts, when you stop looking for external validation, you create the conditions necessary for deep transformation. Think about it. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history were born from solitude. Visionaries, artists, philosophers, scientists, they didn't discover their genius by drowning in noise. They found it by stepping away, by thinking deeply, by listening to the voice within. And yet today's world teaches you the opposite. It tells you to always be connected, always be busy, always be consuming. But what if I told you that the real power lies in the opposite? That by disconnecting from the external world, you reconnect with yourself. When you focus on yourself and eliminate distractions, something incredible happens. You gain clarity. You start to see the patterns in your life, the habits that are holding you back, the thoughts that are keeping you small. You begin to understand yourself at a deeper level, and with that understanding comes the power to change. And let's talk about energy, because focus is not just about time management, it's about energy management. Everything you give your attention to either strengthens you or weakens you. Every thought you entertain, every conversation you engage in, every environment you expose yourself to, it all has an energetic cost. The question is, are you investing your energy into things that empower you, or are you letting it be drained by things that don't matter? If you want to see real progress, you must learn to protect your energy as fiercely as you protect your most valuable possessions. That means being selective about who you allow into your life. That means setting boundaries with people who drain your focus. That means prioritizing your personal growth over temporary pleasures. It means being most people live their lives in a state of constant distraction. They jump from one thought to the next, from one activity to another, never truly present, never deeply engaged with what matters. They exhaust themselves, chasing the next source of stimulation, mistaking busyness for productivity, mistaking movement for progress. But what they fail to see is that this scattered attention, this inability to focus, is precisely what keeps them from the life they desire. If you want to transform your life, if you want to step into your highest potential, you must master the art of focus. And not just any kind of focus, deep, intentional, unwavering focus on yourself. You must become obsessed with your own growth, with your own discipline, with your own evolution, not in a selfish way, but in a way that acknowledges that everything in your life is a reflection of who you are internally, the relationships you attract, the opportunities you create, the energy you bring into every situation. It all starts with you. So if you want better results in your external world, you must first master your internal world. And here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to wake up and decide to make your life better. That responsibility is yours alone. And yet so many people waste their time waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to push them forward. But waiting is just another form of avoidance. The only way forward is to take control, to get brutally honest with yourself and to commit to your own progress no matter what. That means cutting out the noise. That means stepping away from people who do not support your growth. That means learning to be okay with silence, because in silence you hear the truth. Most people avoid silence because they are afraid of what they might hear. They are afraid of confronting their own weaknesses, their own doubts, their own fears. But here's the thing. You cannot change what you refuse to face. If you want to grow, you must be willing to sit with yourself, to listen to that inner voice, and to start taking responsibility for your own transformation. This is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about becoming just a little bit better every single day. It's about choosing discipline over distraction, growth over comfort, purpose over mindless entertainment. Because every small choice you make compounds over time. Every hour you spend developing yourself, instead of wasting time scrolling through distractions, moves you closer to your goals. Every book you read, every workout you complete, every moment you spend in deep reflection, it all adds up. And let's talk about energy, because focus is not just about what you do, it's about what you don't. Every time you give your attention to something that does not serve you, you are depleting your energy. Every time you engage in meaningless drama, every time you let other people's opinions dictate your decisions, every time you waste time on things that do not align with your purpose, you are weakening yourself. Your energy is your currency. Spend it wisely. You see, when you truly commit to focusing on yourself, something interesting happens. People start to notice. They sense your shift. They see that you are no longer available for mindless distractions. They see that you are not as easily influenced, and some will respect it, but others will try to pull you back into the old patterns. Not because they want to harm you, but because your growth challenges them. Your discipline highlights their lack of discipline. Your silence forces them to confront their own insecurities. And this is where most people fail. They give in. They start dimming their own light just to make others comfortable. They shrink back into old habits because they fear standing out. But the truth is, you cannot afford to let other people's comfort dictate your destiny. You cannot afford to slow down just because others refuse to speed up. At the end of the day, it all comes down to a choice. A choice to either stay the same, repeating the same cycles, living the same life, or to evolve, to step into your highest potential, to build the discipline and focus that will create the future you desire. And that choice is made in every moment. It's made in the way you spend your time, in the way you guard your energy, in the way you commit to your own growth. So ask yourself, where is your focus? Are you directing your energy toward things that strengthen you, that build you, that elevate you? Or are you wasting it on things that weaken you, distract you, and keep you stuck? Because every single day, with every single choice, you are either moving closer to your potential or further away from it. You owe it to yourself to stop wasting time. You owe it to yourself to focus on your own growth, to master your own mind, to commit to your own journey. Because the truth is, no one else is going to do it for you. And the longer you wait, the more time you lose. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop looking outside of yourself for answers that have always been within you. Focus on yourself and watch how everything in your life begins to change. Most people live their lives reacting to circumstances, reacting to people, reacting to their emotions. They let the external world dictate their internal state, and in doing so, they surrender control over their own lives. They get pulled into distractions, caught up in things that don't serve them, and waste precious energy on battles that aren't even theirs to fight. And the reason? They haven't trained themselves to protect their energy, to guard their focus, to discipline their mind. If you want to create real change in your life, if you want to elevate yourself beyond your current limitations, you must master the art of discipline. And I don't mean discipline in the rigid external sense, forcing yourself with sheer willpower. No, I'm talking about something much deeper, inner discipline, the ability to control your attention, to manage your emotions, to direct your energy with precision, the ability to remain centered no matter what is happening around you. Think about how most people operate. They wake up, check their phone first thing in the morning, consume an endless stream of content, react to messages, absorb negativity from the news, and before they've even started their day, their energy is already scattered. Their focus is fragmented. They've already surrendered control over their mind to the external world, and then they wonder why they feel exhausted, why they feel overwhelmed, why they can't seem to make progress. But what if instead you took control from the moment you wake up? What if you trained yourself to start your day with clarity and intention? What if you set boundaries on your time, on your energy, on what you allow into your mind? See, discipline is not about restricting yourself. It's about freeing yourself from distractions, freeing yourself from emotional volatility, freeing yourself from being pulled in 1,000 different directions by forces that don't have your best interests at heart. And this kind of discipline requires one key thing: self-respect. You must respect yourself enough to prioritize your own growth. You must respect yourself enough to say no to mindless entertainment, to people who drain your energy, to habits that keep you stuck. You must respect yourself enough to create structure in your life, not because someone else told you to, but because you know that structure is the foundation for your own expansion. This is where most people struggle. They think they can make progress while still holding on to their old ways. They think they can build a new life while keeping their old habits. But that's not how transformation works. You cannot step into a higher version of yourself while staying attached to the things that keep you at a lower level. Growth demands sacrifice. It demands that you let go of the parts of yourself that no longer serve you. And that process is not easy. It's uncomfortable, it's inconvenient, but it's necessary. So ask yourself, where are you undisciplined? Where are you allowing distractions to steal your focus? Where are you making excuses instead of making progress? And more importantly, what would happen if you decided right now to take full responsibility for your mind, your energy, your direction? What if instead of letting the world control you, you became the master of your own reality? Because here's the truth. The most successful, fulfilled, and high-performing people in this world are not the ones with the most talent. They are not the ones who had the easiest path. They are the ones who mastered themselves, who disciplined their minds, who committed to their own evolution day in and day out, no matter what. And the good news is, this level of mastery is available to you, but it won't happen by accident. It won't happen by hoping, by wishing, by waiting for the perfect time. It will only happen through intentional effort, through consistent practice, through the daily decision to show up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. So if you truly want to change your life, if you want to break free from mediocrity and step into your highest potential, start by disciplining your mind. Start by eliminating the distractions, by setting boundaries, by training yourself to focus on what actually matters. Because when you do that, when you truly commit to your own growth, everything else will fall into place. Your energy will shift. Your opportunities will expand. Your entire life will begin to reflect the power you have cultivated within. But it all starts with a choice to stop wasting time, a choice to stop letting the external world dictate your path, a choice to take control of your own mind, your own energy, your own destiny. And that choice is yours to make right now. Most people spend their lives chasing success, chasing approval, chasing validation. They move from one thing to the next, always feeling like something is missing, always looking for the next source of excitement, the next big breakthrough, the next thing that will finally make them feel whole. But the truth is, no matter how much they achieve, no matter how many things they acquire, that feeling of fulfillment remains just out of reach. Why? Because they're chasing external solutions to an internal problem. They believe that the answer is out there, somewhere in the world, waiting for them to find it. But the reality is, everything they are looking for, clarity, peace, confidence, success, is already within them. The problem is they've never learned how to access it. See, when you focus on yourself, when you eliminate distractions and direct your energy inward, something powerful happens. You begin to see yourself clearly. You begin to understand your own mind, your own patterns, your own potential. And in that stillness and that deep inner focus, everything starts to align. Ideas come effortlessly. Opportunities reveal themselves. The right people appear. Not because you went out desperately searching for them, but because you became the kind of person who naturally attracts them. But most people will never experience this. They are too distracted, too caught up in the noise of the world, too conditioned to believe that they have to fight and struggle and prove themselves at every turn. And so they never allow themselves the space to simply be, to listen to their own intuition, to trust their own path, to let things unfold in the way they were meant to. Think about it. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who are loudest. They are not the ones constantly trying to prove something. They are the ones who move with quiet confidence. The ones who don't need to seek validation because they already know who they are. The ones who are so deeply focused on their own evolution that they naturally command respect, not because they ask for it, but because they embody it. This is the power of self-mastery, the power of becoming so grounded in yourself, so deeply in tune with your own energy that you no longer need to chase. You attract, you create, you manifest, and you do it not by force, not by overexertion, but by alignment. But let's be honest. This is not easy. It requires unlearning years, sometimes decades of conditioning. It requires breaking free from the belief that you need external validation to be worthy. It requires developing an entirely new relationship with yourself, one built on self-trust, self-discipline, and self-respect. And that takes time, that takes patience, that takes commitment. So ask yourself, where in your life are you still chasing? Where are you still seeking something outside of yourself that you could cultivate within? Where are you allowing distractions, fears, or limiting beliefs to pull you away from the path you know you should be on? And most importantly, what would happen if you stopped? What would happen if instead of looking outward, you turned your focus inward? Because the truth is, the moment you stop chasing is the moment everything starts coming to you. The moment you stop looking for shortcuts, stop seeking approval, stop allowing yourself to be distracted by things that don't serve you, that is the moment your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, your entire life shifts with it. So be still, be silent, be focused, and trust that as long as you are doing the work, as long as you are growing, evolving, and showing up as your highest self, everything you desire will come to you in its own time, not through force, not through desperation, but through alignment. And that is the real secret, not to chase, but to become.